How many times have you heard, "I promise I will change. This time will be different. You can count on me. I promise I will fight for us." We have all heard these words from someone who has a pattern of making commitments they don't keep. Today we're talking about chronic quitters in relationships and the devastating trail they leave behind. Hey everyone, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I explore psychology, human behavior, and the moral and ethical dilemmas that shape how we treat each other. Today's topic is tough but necessary. The person who repeatedly promises change, commitment, or follow through, then quits when things get difficult, and how that cycle destroys trust in every relationship they touch. Let's be clear about what we are discussing. This isn't someone who changes their mind occasionally. This is the person who makes serious commitments to others, promises about their behavior, their role in relationships, their responsibilities, then abandons those commitments when they become inconvenient. The psychology here runs deep. First, there's emotional avoidance. These individuals often make promises in moments of high emotion, like guilt, love, fear of loss. But when the emotion fades, so does their motivation to honor what they said. Second, consequence blindness. They focus intensely on escaping immediate discomfort, a difficult conversation, sustained effort, personal change, without truly calculating the long-term damage to their relationships. And finally, commitment as manipulation. Sometimes the promise itself is the goal. They've learned that making commitments can quickly diffuse tension, buy them time, or regain someone's trust, even if they have no real intention of following through. But let's talk about the real victims here. The people who believed in those promises. When someone invests emotionally in your commitments, whether they're your partner, child, friend, family, they're not just believing in your words. They're restructuring their expectations, sometimes their entire lives, based on what you've promised. I'll go to therapy. I'll stop drinking. I'll be more reliable. I'll change this behavior. When these promises are broken repeatedly, it doesn't just cause disappointment, it causes a fundamental erosion of reality. The people who trusted you start questioning their own judgment, their worth, their ability to assess whether someone can be trusted. They begin to wonder if they're asking too much, expecting too much, or if they somehow drove you to make promises you couldn't keep. Those who care about you find themselves in an impossible position. They want to support and believe, but they've been burned so many times that offering emotional investment feels foolish. They become guardians of their own hearts, which creates distance in relationships that used to be close. The cruelest aspect is hope as a weapon. Each new promise reactivates hope in the people who care about this person, and each broken promise doesn't just disappoint, it punishes them for daring to believe again. Here's what people who break promises don't understand. Trust isn't just about big betrayals. It's built and destroyed in small daily choices to honor your word. When you promise your partner you'll start showing up on time, that you'll put more effort into the relationship, that you'll be more present during conversations, then revert to old patterns after a week, you're not just being inconsistent, you're teaching them that their feelings matter less than your convenience. When you tell someone you'll be at their important event, then skip it because something more appealing came up, you're not just missing a moment, you're showing them that your commitments to them are negotiable. When you promise to be more reliable, then continue canceling last minute or not follow through on plans, you're not just being inconsiderate. You're forcing people to lower their expectations of what a relationship with you looks like. The people in your life adapt to your unreliability by protecting themselves. They stop depending on you. They stop sharing vulnerable hopes with you. They stop inviting you to important moments because they cannot risk your absence. And here's the paradox. The very relationships you're not willing to show up for consistently become less and less worth showing up for because the depth and intimacy disappear. If you recognize this pattern in yourself, understand that every time you choose your immediate comfort over your commitments to others, you're making a trade. You're trading long-term relationship health for short-term ease. The people who love you aren't asking for perfection. They're asking for honesty about what you can and will do. It's better to underpromise and overdeliver than to repeatedly break commitments that others organize their hearts around. Your words have power in other people's lives. When you promise change or commitment, people make emotional and practical decisions based on that promise. Breaking it doesn't just affect you, it disrupts their entire world. Your word is your bond. Not just to others, but to yourself. Every promise you break doesn't just damage their trust in you, it erodes your own integrity piece by piece until you become someone even you cannot rely on. If you've left a trail of broken commitments behind you, understand this. Redemption isn't found in grand gestures or passionate apologies. It's built in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you choose to honor your word simply because you said you would. And if you are loving someone trapped in this cycle, hear this truth. You cannot save someone from themselves. You cannot want their healing more than they do. Your love, no matter how fierce, cannot substitute for their commitment to change. Protect your heart. Stay open to genuine transformation, but never mistake promises for progress. The people who truly change don't announce it, they simply become it. That's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you next week.